So I was just finishing up this question, which was, what stresses you? Question 10, what do you find inadequate in this world? Um, I think, as I kind of mentioned before when the other video is, I'm I get stressed out by not knowing the future. I think for me to not know what's going to happen day to day can be, or not day to day, months and years can be really stressful, especially when it comes to my career. I think there's no certainties in the world, but um, I wish there were more. um, Oddly enough, I'm stressed about becoming an uninteresting individual who just is really one-sided. I think it's possible to become that way when you keep adopting different roles in life. You become a parent, or you're a teacher, or you're someone's wife, someone's daughter. Just, you have so many roles to play, but being really one-sided about your roles and not being like fully rounded as an individual. I think I'm stressed about becoming one-sided or maybe boring. Um, I'm also stressed about um, being an unconscious person in this world, just kind of getting up, doing the same old thing every day, just not like living. I think I really have no other way of explaining what that means, but just not feeling alive. Nothing gives you life. I'm also stressed out about just being ordinary. Um, and not questioning. I think that really also stresses me. Is just becoming kind of automaton. What in terms of what do you find inadequate in this world? I don't know. I think I'm finding lack of appreciation of feminine aspects. Kind of going to use some of my Jungian stuff here, but intuitiveness as a way of knowing, being relational, um, being fluid, being one with the earth, respecting the earth and animals like we would people. Just the degradation of just sometimes humanity, how we treat each other. The other thing that bothers me too is sometimes not being in touch with our bodies as much. We're very a mind culture. We're all kind of up here in our head, and that kind of worries me if you don't pay attention to your body. Also, what knowledge we respect in this world and who the knowledge is coming from. Sometimes it's considered inadequate, or I find it inadequate that some knowledge is more respected than others, or no ways of knowing are more respected than others. And that kind of disturbs me because, when you think that society is becoming more and more open-minded, some ways of knowing are just judged, and I find them inadequate. Number 11, when you work with people, what roles do you prefer? Oh, sorry, I said that twice. I generally like to be in a position of leadership, but lately, if I'm doing stuff outside of my classroom, I tend to just want to be in the role of a supporter. If I can bring in some resources, if I can add some connections in there. I was currently involved in a project about interfaith and youth, and we were designing a curriculum. So I kind of brought in more of the structure component to it, just seeing where things could kind of go wrong, where they could get right. And I was the only teacher on the team, so being able to use my teaching skills to kind of illuminate maybe areas that could potentially be problematic, or just even bringing in some ideas of how we could do things. And these days also just sitting back and listening is also appealing to me. Often I just can be part of a project and sort of sit back and let my thoughts go and, talk a little bit here and there. Yeah. Generally, I like to be in the role of a leader, but usually it's a second leader, like a chief of command, not the captain. I think I have that in my class, so don't really need that in other areas of my life. What's the best compliment another person could give you? That you're a good person. I think that's a huge compliment. I once received a card from my students, and when my students wrote, you're a great teacher, but you're a good person. And that really resonated with me, to be told that, you know what, you're just a good person. You try to be a good person. And I think that's a great compliment to receive. And you can do so much with that. I mean, what's good? Good to one person, good to another, but it's still, you're just a good human being. So, yeah, that was a really great compliment. And one time a coworker told me that you're such a, she said to me, I'm a short girl, I'm about 5'1", and she said to me, I always thought you were way taller than 5'1", and I said, oh no, I'm 5'1". She said, you come across as a tall person, and I asked her what she meant by that. She's like, just the way you carry yourself, you seem like you've got like this tall person inside you. And I don't know why, but I always remember that compliment that she gave me. I've never been conscious about my height, never thought much about it, but it was just the idea of like you have a sense of presence, and having a sense of presence and still being small is kind of, hey, it's cool. Like, there's something about me that, you know, brings a sense of energy into a room. Okay. 13. If you're over 20, what qualities are important in a partner? A kind person. A person who is genuinely interested in others. I tend to gravitate towards quieter people. I really do enjoy the company of someone who's quiet and calm. It brings me into a different sense of energy, a more collected energy. I like that. I always have great dynamic with kind of quieter, reserved people. I also admire people that are expressive, whether that's, you know, through their speech, or through, written form, or through art or music, or just somewhere where they're expressing. I think is great, because it's bringing, what I call unconscious stuff to consciousness. It's they're becoming more whole through these expressions, and it goes back to that self-growth thing. Another quality that I look for is a person who's just real. You can talk about just deeper things. You can talk about things that people don't talk about. Can go to kind of more, down home places. I also like the company of someone that's intelligent, and but doesn't show off intelligence, just a very quiet intelligence. I think that, for me, intelligence is the ability to read others very quickly, read a situation very quickly, and I love that in others. I love that. I also like someone who's a protector. It lets me do what I want to do in life. It doesn't hold me back from being who I want to be. So a sense of closeness, but yet a sense of distance. I think having both of that is important to me. I couldn't be in a relationship where I'm constantly being, smothered, and I couldn't be with someone who's overbearing and always needs to be around me. So someone who's able to have alone time to themselves, but also respects my time alone as well. Curiosity, definitely, in the world, and someone who is hardworking, and a sense of just sensitivity. It's really nice. I love that. I love sensitivity. And I think someone who I can sit with and just be relaxed around and just talk about anything. I think having some interests definitely in common is important, but also having differences. But again, it goes back to curiosity. Are you curious about some of the same things in the world? And I think, hey, well, it certainly doesn't help if you're good looking. To me, that I think attraction is really important at a physical level, but also emotionally, spiritually, mentally. I think all of that needs to come together for me to feel kind of attracted, to feel attracted to someone. Not kind of, but to feel attracted to someone. And I think some of those qualities that I listed, I think those are definitely things that I look for in a partner. So thanks to Paul for these questions. And I hope that they're helpful to other typologies, be it they're ENFJs or other NFs or just other typologies in general. Again, this is just one perspective of living in the world as an ENFJ. I've always been an ENFJ. I've taken the test ever since I was 16, 17, and I've consistently come out with ENFJ, and here I am, almost 29, still an ENFJ, and I hope that I could bring more understanding to this type. And so again, thanks, Paul, for these questions.